Hello and welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Tiffany.
This is a show where we take 3 comics united under a theme and then rate them which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly after a brief conversation about each issue. We're doing 0 issues. So technically this is the 0 episode.
First thing I noticed about this, Superman has terrifying eyes on the cover.
Yeah, he looks like a total baller. He's got his mullet.
Okay, this book is by Dan Jurgens and Brett Breeding. Confusingly, this book starts off with a subtitle or subheading, Peer Pressure Part 2. I have no idea, having read this entire book, what that means.
Right?
Nope.
I'm a new comic book fan. I want to get into Superman.
I'll pick up the 0
issue. I see
issue.
this 0 issue. I'm going to grab
that's probably
this.
the beginning, right?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it is the beginning of something because we get to meet this burglar character. So he's breaking into this facility, and he comes across a police officer, or I guess a security guard.
Either one.
Yeah, and he wraps him up with like snake-like metallic cables, and then I guess shocks him. So then, oh, that's crazy, but now that's over. And he identifies himself as Conduit. Conduit was here. He says, no one will ever know.
Then what'd you put so much effort into the costume for?
And
Yeah,
who are
why'd you
you
make yourself
shouting
look like a
to? That
badass?
guy's dead.
Yeah,
Like,
he's literally talking to the reader.
They all
Yeah.
talk to themselves.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
For our
hi.
benefit.
It should have been a thought balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
So I guess at the end of the day, we all have a little supervillain in us all, because I talk to myself sometimes too when I'm
Constantly.
alone.
Yeah. But do you announce who you are?
I gotta work on
This
that
was
one.
a sandwich that was perfectly orchestrated by Tiffany. I don't think so.
So then we cut to Clark Kent and Lois Lane moving in together,
Yeah.
I guess.
I know I like to put on my workout attire.
Oh, yeah. She found a box of his old stuff, like from when he was in high school. And it's like trophies and medals and stuff. And she's like, oh, like I guess your powers were like really helpful. And he's like, no, I got this before my powers
Yeah.
manifested.
Post-crisis, I was never Superboy. I got the powers when I was a teenager.
Yeah, and he becomes like deadly serious at one point, and he's just like, but when I did realize I have powers, I made sure to be really fair.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
shut up.
I am perfect in every way.
Yeah, I was perfect before I was Superman.
Yes. And
Yeah.
then I am morally perfect
Yeah.
after.
And by the way, I'm a better writer than you. I don't even use my powers.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So the whole purpose of this conversation is to introduce for the first time his
A
childhood.
character from his past that we would absolutely have met before.
Yeah.
Yep, who was really important apparently, Kenny Braverman.
Yep.
Kenny Braverman is unimportant, except that all you need to know about him is that he came in second every time,
Yeah.
and Clark Kent came in first.
Right.
Yep.
But they're also like buddies.
Yeah.
And they're friends.
And they had the same birthday. I was like,
I didn't
why
even
do I
remember
need that
that.
detail?
Yeah, well, just so like it's like how
That's
similar
evil
they are.
Clark Kent. Or second-rate Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, his dad is like, why can't you be more like Clark, who like wins all the time? You're a loser. Well, he doesn't
Yep.
call him a loser, but he's like,
He's
that-
pretty
you,
down on
Don't you
him.
want to be a winner? He's a winner. There's a winner. You're not a winner.
By association, you are technically.
And that would make you.
You fill it in, kiddo.
Oh, you can't even do that, huh?
But also, he has to be second in the ladies as well.
Yes, because he,
Strikes out.
after losing this race to
my
Clark, he then asks out Lana Lang to the prom.
Yep.
And she turns him down, saying she's gonna be busy.
No,
or
she says
something.
she has a date.
She's
She
a
says
date.
she has a
Got
date. That's right.
And
she
Clark says, you don't have a
practically
date.
does,
And
because
she's like, it's you.
yeah, I'm
like,
asking you
oh.
out. And he's like, oh, but I'd feel like a heel since you told Kenny before you asked me. He's like very particular about it. It's like, no, but he asked you first.
That's
so
called bro code. I don't know if you're aware of the bro
Yeah.
code, but I have definitely been in that situation where I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, they went first,
Yep.
but rejection overwrites bro code.
Right.
She rejected him.
yeah, she's like, I don't want, and it's very
Does
like,
it?
well,
yes.
it's very adult because she's like, but I don't want to go with him.
Right.
Like she like rejects his like stupid bro codism. Is like, yeah, but I don't like him. Why would I go to prom with him
Yeah.
and not go with the person I want just because like he asked me first? That's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's
like,
like-
but they're friends.
They are friends. He could still turn her down
Yeah, he
if he's
should-
like that.
If he wanted to be that moralistic about it, he should have
Yes.
turned her down and then gone stag.
Yes.
No, Clark should have gone, I already have a date. I'm going with Kenny.
Yeah, we're gonna go as bros.
Yeah. But I think he like really likes her, so
Yeah,
he just
obviously.
like
Yeah.
caves immediately. He's like, okay, well.
Yep.
Also, Kenny has like a really warped sense because like there's a moment where he's talking to her and he's just like, He's like, you know, like I'd rather come in 10th than 2nd.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes.
I'd rather definitively lose than
Yep.
always lose to Clark.
Right.
but no matter what, you would have lost to Clark.
Yes.
Even at 10th, you
yeah,
still.
but I was so close.
But it's always Clark. It's like if I came
Yeah.
in 10th, I would have lost to 9 other people,
Yeah.
including Clark.
and I wouldn't feel like I could have won.
if not
Because
for
I
him.
came in 10th. So, like,
Yeah.
obviously I wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
But coming in second, it's like I'm so close and I can never get past
Right.
him.
Yeah.
And if not for him, I would be first.
Right. We
Like,
also
so
need to
that makes me
establish-
hate him, even though
Yeah.
he's like my best friend or whatever.
Yeah, except they're not, because
No.
it would have come up at some point.
Yeah.
Right. No, they're just friends.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
But coincidentally, they also wind up, because Clark does go with Lana, they become the prom
Oh,
king and
yeah.
queen.
Yeah, it's just like, hi, every high school drama movie ever.
It's
or
the
like
anti-Kenny
Thriller.
Braverman Award.
Yeah.
Yep. And then his dad gives him shit for like not winning prom king.
I know.
Which is
like,
like
what? I mean,
amazing.
All right, they're in a small town. I guess they have weird priorities.
Yeah.
Or his dad does.
But it's like, why did you think he?
Yeah, what
Kenny
about
was going to
Kenny?
win.
Because he's such a track star.
Right.
Because you know how those
Oh,
track
yeah.
stars really roll in it when they're in high school.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he played football too. I
I'm
guess
sure.
he probably did.
Yeah, I know Clark did.
But this
So then he
time of
must
year
have.
is track season. See, they know that if it's prom season, they
It
wouldn't be
has to
playing
be.
football. It would be track. So this book pays attention to the
Juergens
details.
really does focus on those details.
Yeah.
Like a laser microscope.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, when Clark asked out Lana, when she asked him to ask her out,
Kenny
which I
heard that.
like,
Yes.
she's like, I was hoping you would ask me. Even though she could just ask him,
Yeah.
it's a little too early for that.
Uh-huh.
But she's very like forward and saying like, why don't you just ask me?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he does, and Kenny's like behind a wall like this.
No! Yeah, she's like Lorraine Baines. I was hoping that
Yes.
you would ask me
Yeah.
to the Enchantment of the Sea dance
Yeah,
on
which
Friday.
I feel
Yeah.
like probably happened all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
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 I guess.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, where it's
I'm
like
sure
we
that-
have this idea that like, oh no, the
Yeah.
guy always asks. Like, no.
Yeah. No.
I did.
He was, yeah?
Yeah.
I got
you
turned
go.
down.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry.
Outrageous.
That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense.
Nope, doesn't at all.
I did.
Who did you ask out? Was he like the head of
he
the
the prom
football
king?
team? Or
No.
Is he a track star?
No. He was in the theater.
Oh.
He was going with another girl.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
right.
Oh
I
no,
mean,
he hadn't asked her out. He wanted to.
But he wanted to. Okay, that's
he had
not.
something in
That's,
mind.
I guess.
He had,
Did he go
he
with
had
her?
other plans.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so-
then yeah.
Yeah, they went, but
Alright.
they had no relationship prior to that. So I was like,
interesting.
I've got a shot.
Yeah.
I had no shot.
Meanwhile, Clark is going to a gala with
Lois.
Lois.
It's like an awards ceremony for
Yes.
people who write.
yes, and
A
Clark
thing that doesn't exist.
Oh, what they
it's like a
exist.
Pulitzer,
Yeah.
I guess, but in like Metropolis,
Yeah.
like a local Pulitzer.
Uh-huh.
And Clark is up for an award.
Award that nobody's ever heard of before.
Do you like this double page
We
splash?
got a double
for an
page
ad?
splash for Weird Science.
The show.
starring Vanessa Angel and
Who is that?
Vanessa Angel. I don't. She was.
Oh, I thought you named her like you.
Well,
know
because I
her from-
remember from that era, because
Oh,
I thought
really?
she was hot. So of course, like, there's a bomb under the stage that like goes off while Clark is giving his acceptance speech.
Yeah.
And there's an explosion, and when the dust clears, it's Superman there, and he has protected what is she a
He
news
mentions
anchor or
her
something?
name.
Cat Grant,
Okay, she's a TV reporter.
TV reporter.
And
yeah.
and quite the wordsmith, because she makes sure to tell everybody in the room that Clark Kent is a way better reporter than anyone else in this room.
Yes.
He did the best job ever,
Yeah.
and you can all just go home.
Yeah.
Like every
Yeah.
other award tonight is just bullshit.
Oh yeah, she clearly like has the hots for him,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous because he has a mullet.
I mean, yeah.
She's like, ooh, but like she likes that about him. It's the duality, the
Yeah.
business in the front, the party in the back. There's a lot going on.
The bow tie in the front as well.
Unlike everybody else, she can tell he's freaking ripped.
Yeah.
I guess that's my explanation.
That's right.
So yeah, Superman
jig
emerges.
is up.
Yeah.
Except it's not.
And then robots come in.
Those are just men in armor.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
he
look like
sends in his
robots.
like squad because
Yeah.
he's just like, oh, Clark must have gotten away.
Yeah, like, wait, the explosion was meant for Clark.
Right. So he's figuring out like why would someone want to kill
Clark
her,
Kent.
Clark
He's
Kent?
such a great
Like
guy.
were they trying to kill everybody or were they trying to kill Clark Kent? I don't
Yes.
understand. He defeats the men
Armored
who
men.
are not robots. I was going to call them robots again. He also shoots a grenade with his heat vision,
Yes.
which I guess is just just showing that he has it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we gotta get his heat vision in there.
Why not?
Yeah, it's just kind of a
He's
random
multifaceted.
thing.
Yeah, he was strong enough to withstand the bomb, but
Yeah.
he can range attack.
They
as
shoot him
well.
with lasers at point blank range, and it doesn't hurt him.
No.
It's real cool.
Yeah.
And then he beats them, and their controller sees that they've been defeated and activates a thing that sets their heads on fire.
Yes.
I don't know what else to say. Their heads are literally flaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Insane.
He just melts their faces.
Yeah. And the Superman's like, oh no, I have to get them to a hospital. I'm like, their heads are on fire, man. They're dead.
Yeah.
You don't know it yet. I guess their heart's still beating, but
Yeah.
you're not gonna save them. It's all I could think is, I don't know, when he wrote the dialogue, did he not realize it was gonna be drawn where they're corpses. He's carrying these corpses
these dead bodies
with flaming skulls to the
Yeah.
hospital.
It's like two different Ghost Riders are going for a ride with Superman.
So he dumps them on the hospital's doorstep, and they're like,
Yeah.
Thanks for these corpses.
Yeah.
Well, he
Thanks for
says
this
he
job.
realizes
But
he's just like, they're
halfway
dead.
through.
Yeah, by the time he
Which
gets there,
is
they're
great
dead.
because he has them. It's clear that he brought them to the hospital because he's leaving the hospital, but it kind of looks like he was just like, oh, they're dead.
Drop.
Yeah, because you don't actually see him place them on the
No.
hospital. You see him fly away from the
He drops
hospital.
them on the roof of the hospital.
Yeah.
They'll find them
So
eventually.
then
Yeah.
there's like, obviously
They just come up there like
some
an
sort
hour
of-
later, and
There's some couple leaving. Their kid's really sick in the hospital. It's just these two corpses fall out of the sky. Just
It was too late for them. We see how he gets back into Clark Kent attire so quickly
Because that was destroyed in the
it
explosion.
was destroying the
Yeah.
closure, but he keeps a spare set on a roof
Yeah.
in a backpack.
Like Spider-Man.
I was gonna say he must have picked it up from when they hung out.
Right,
Yeah.
because,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, that's a neat trick. So he goes back to his apartment, and he's like, it doesn't make any sense that someone would be going after Clark. And then he comes to his apartment, and there's like a picture of Clark Kent with a knife through it
Embedded
in
into it.
the door.
Yeah, and it's
like,
like, I think
oh.
it's a high school yearbook photo.
I guess
Yeah.
it doesn't say.
I think we see it
but
later.
Oh, okay. So then, cut to the perpetrator of this plot, who is of course Conduit,
Who is, of course,
who is of course Kenny.
Braver.
Wait. How do you
Braverman.
figure that? I mean, like, what? Just because we met Conduit for the first time in this issue, and we met Kenny for the first time
Yeah.
in this issue, you think they're the same person?
Right.
What? That's just really reaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty convenient.
Kind of a stretch.
I don't know.
Well, turn the
about that.
page and let's find out.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is, by the way, this is where we get his father asking him about who
King.
was elected prom king this year. Take a wild guess. And his dad like freaks out. Kent, what is wrong with you? Like, what? What is wrong with you? You
think-
didn't win prom king?
It's like his father is like, okay, I thought it was kind of weird and convenient that Clark always beats you in like everything, but this cinches it. You must be doing something specifically to Clark Kent to make him try and beat you at everything.
But or it's also
It's
like,
all your fault now. This magic circumstance.
But it's like Clark Kent is an objectively handsome individual.
Yes. Kenny is not.
I just don't understand.
Kenny's like fine, but he's not
I know.
like hot. And
does his dad just not understand conventional
right.
know,
And
hierarchies?
why would Clark win everything else and not this? If there is someone who's actually the best at every sport, like literally every
Yeah,
sport,
then he's gonna be
they're
prom king.
going to be prom king.
You're voting. It's not.
It's a vote. It's a vote in a stupid popularity contest.
It's like this should have been the least surprising one.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, so after Clark
And
won
you-
prom king, did you friggin' like cry
You know
yourself?
what?
to
You know
the-
what probably makes it worse is I bet Clark voted for Kenny
Yeah.
I'm sure he did.
because he's a good person.
he's
But
such a
good
Kenny
guy.
also voted for
Yeah.
him.
Kenny
so-
got 2 votes.
Hey everybody, what about Kenny, huh? And everyone's just like
And
dead
Kenny's like,
silent.
"Damn you! Don't patronize
I
me!"
hate you even more. So then Kenny goes into it. This is past Kenny. Goes into, I guess, his dad's drawer,
Yep.
and there's a gun in there, and he takes it out, and he like points it at no one, and he says, if only Clark wasn't around, everybody would get off my back. I guess you mean your dad.
Yeah.
Everybody.
But then he left, man. Like
Yeah.
he left Smallville. Now you're the prom king,
Yes.
man. The guy who came
Yeah.
in second is now coming
Right?
in first.
Just
Right.
let it go. Just capitalize on his absence. Except all I can figure is probably this Kenny guy peaked at number 2 in high
Naturally.
school.
Yeah.
You know.
He's still upset about it.
Yeah. So anyway, then we cut back to the present. Conduit is saying the Day of Atonement has come, even though his plan just failed. But he's like, but I'm gonna get him anyway. I am undeterred in the slightest.
Yeah. Well, look at my rad 90s costume.
Yeah, and then you see that he is actually like the coils actually are like going like into his face or like clutching his face.
Yeah.
Like he's real messed up. Like he's not just climbing into a suit that's got a lot of coils.
No,
like,
this
they're
is
like,
him. Like it's like all that's left of Ken
It's like something
Braverman is his
happened
face.
to him.
Yeah.
I guess we'd find out.
You would find out in Superman, Adventures of Superman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I get Adventures of Superman #0. I guess that's the name of the title.
No. It's every issue that was coming out from DC Comics at the time in that like span.
Yeah.
Had a 0 issue.
Yeah, but it says continue to next week's Adventures of Superman #0.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I thought this
Next-
was.
No,
this is Superman.
Adventure. Okay.
No, there's Man of Steel, Adventures of Superman,
so
Superman.
there's a 0 issue for all 4.
Is that why
Yes.
this is part 2?
Yes.
There's another Superman title. That's
Didn't
a
you pick
zero?
up Action Comics #0?
So what happened in that one?
Who cares?
Yeah, well,
'Cause
but this seems to start at the beginning of this story.
It does, doesn't it? But
Maybe
it's part 2.
Maybe
of
there
Peer
was
Pressure.
another appearance of Conduit before this.
Oh, that would
There must
suck.
have been. Yeah.
There must have been, but you find out everything about his backstory here.
This is a great self-contained issue. That's why it's so
Unless
terrific.
there's more backstory from when they were like in middle school or something. Maybe.
Yeah. I feel like you get enough out of this issue, but like I get
I
the
want to
Kenny-
know now.
So,
Right,
like, what's
well-
funny is I'm more interested in the issue that comes before this than the issue that
Oh,
comes
yeah.
after this.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
here's the thing: I'm never going to find out what happened to Conduit.
No.
No. You know what happened to Conduit?
He gets defeated.
The 90s ended.
Conduit kept coming in second.
Yeah, exactly. More like 3rd or 4th
That'd be funny if Kenny is now a reporter.
for like the
and
Gotham
is,
Gazette.
Yeah,
or-
and is coming in.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not as good.
Yeah,
as,
that would
as
be
Clark.
great.
Yeah.
Which is funny about this issue because it makes it out that Clark Kent's a better journalist
Yeah.
than Lois Lane, but he gets the journalism award for dealing with the crisis that just happened. And I'm like,
That's right.
but he did use his powers for that because he's Superman, so he
yeah.
knew
He was
everything
there
that was
and
going
had
on.
input.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he
no.
cheated.
No, I didn't cheat in like high school and college. I
No.
cheat now all the time.
I can't not.
Yeah.
I'm Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that. That is the tie to
Yeah.
0 Hour.
But it's
Yes.
like,
Yes, that he wrote a ripping article about
Yeah.
this horrible
And-
DC
but the
event.
thing is, that he's like, oh, and he was able to explain it to everybody.
Yeah. He was able to explain this complicated
That's
thing
not bad.
to like
That's
normal
I would give him an
people.
award for that.
Right. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, like,
I
maybe
guess.
that should have been the issue.
Well, yeah, just
Yeah.
explaining 0
How
Hour.
about that?
Yeah.
That would actually be interesting.
I agree.
see. I took it as like not that he's the best reporter, but that this year
He's the best reporter.
he was the best reporter because
Yeah,
of that
that he
story.
and Lois
Normally
trade
he wouldn't
years.
be.
No, it should always be Lois. Lois is just
I
a,
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, but someone else has got to win. She can't win every
No.
Pulitzer. Sometimes someone else at the same paper also wins.
Maybe in the same family.
Well, see, there you go, Kenny. See, sometimes Clark is
Yeah.
Lois is Kenny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes he's #2, and he
Yeah.
doesn't freak out about it.
He doesn't become a weird.
But I guess his
creepy
dad
villain.
wouldn't be on him for.
Yeah.
for
I
a
don't know,
second.
Jor-El. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but
Well,
he's been dead.
That dad, yes. Now, yeah.
Tell us about Aquaman #0.
oh,
This is
Man.
a seminal
Oh yeah.
issue in Aquaman's
One of the most
history.
certainly the most important issue on this table.
Yeah.
In terms of
And-
like comics history.
Yes, and easily the most important Aquaman issue
definitely why you gave
in
it
decades.
to me. That's why you gave it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This book is written by Peter David with art by Martin Egeland.
Egeland.
Egeland?
Eglin?
I say Egeland.
Egeland? This one is not a part 2.
Nope.
This is just a...
It is a continuation.
Yes,
though.
but it comes in, it's a crash of symbols.
That's what it's called.
Yes, not the symbols, but like, ooh,
Symbolism.
what does it mean?
yeah.
Ooh. The book opens up with a couple of dolphins. Well, actually, a trio,
dolphins.
a trio of dolphins swimming through the water. 2 of them are actual dolphins. One of them is the chick dolphin.
Who I've never heard of.
I have heard of her, and I've
really?
seen her in different incarnations. I haven't seen her in the jean short wearing version of her, where I'm just like, that has to be really uncomfortable to swim in.
Yeah.
But Aquaman and Aqualad are injured, and 2 dolphins are ferrying them along with her, swimming with them to a medical facility in Atlantis. On their way there, 2 of the dolphins are like, we can't go there. Or the 2 dolphins are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're having a full-on conversation like, oh, that place is bad city. We can't go there. And she's like, no, that's cool. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Come on. And they bail, and so she's like, I'll just carry them
Fine,
myself.
I'll do it
then."
myself.
They call her Sleek Skin. I guess that's what they call people,
Yeah.
which I think
Yeah.
is adorable. But they refer to Aquaman as her mate.
Yes.
Yes.
Because they just naturally assume.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's just like, he's not my mate.
He's not my mate.
But I would really like it to be.
Yeah, but the dolphin's like,
We can see through.
Yeah, I'm just
your
like,
shit.
not
yeah,
yet.
you're good. So then, as Dolphin is dragging them via their hands or their arms through the water, she is like, hey, did you miss last issue? Because let me give you a quick recap in my hair here, where they talk about how there was a fight with Charybdis,
Yeah.
where she ended up shooting him with some sort of aqua gun.
Yes.
yeah.
And I think it's very clever in this issue. Up until a certain point, we only see one side of Aquaman.
Yes.
Like, literally, we only
yes.
see one side.
Yeah,
I was like,
obscure.
clever!
Yeah.
Clever, everyone.
Yeah.
You hid the other arm.
Yeah. You know, that was like a directive.
That's like
Yeah.
too clever.
for this year.
For this year, this is too clever.
For this publisher. Yeah.
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 But anyway, so like they get to Atlantis, and I guess Dolphin's never been there. And she's
No.
like, whoa!
Whoa, look
This
at this
secret
place.
hidden city is really
Check
cool.
it
Where
out
do you
under
come
the
from then,
dome.
Dolphin?
Right? Yeah.
How
Not
do you,
Atlantis.
how are you an underwater dweller who's never been to Atlantis?
Listen,
like that
the
should be
ocean
like-
is big, okay?
Yeah, it is a
I
vast
guess,
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
70%
I've never
of
been to
here.
Paris, so I guess I can't talk.
Right?
Yeah, that, right? But while she's like admiring the city from afar and like in a sexy pose
Oh
with
yeah,
her long
Every
always.
hair.
Every pose.
Every pose,
Sexy.
sexy hair.
Yes.
Which I was like, I guess underwater it's more
Yeah,
manageable.
it'd be everywhere. Yeah.
Well, no, as soon as you go backwards, you're
Yeah, it's
you're
certainly
screwed.
not doing that.
It's in my mouth. It's caught on all the coral.
Never go backwards.
No, ever. You can't. That's it. The like aqua
Police.
show up. They're just some sort of like
Security
yeah,
force.
security.
They're the Cloud City
patrolling.
guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show up and like the main dude's like freaking. He's like, state your business. And I love the guy next to him who's just like, relax. Mero, look at her.
Yeah.
She's hot.
And she's not hiding
But
any.
like, but
let's
that's
scare
what I
her
love.
away.
Is, yeah, he says, I don't think she's carrying any concealed weapons. She's wearing almost no clothing.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
That's a subtle way.
If
of
she
saying,
were, she wouldn't be able to reach into those denim pockets to
yeah.
get it.
First of all, they're this big. They maybe could hold
Yeah,
like a
but
Tic
they're also
Tac box.
sealed to her body.
because it's wet and they're tiny.
Yes.
So that's when they're like, oh, it's Aquaman and freaking
Aquaboy.
Aqualad. Like, how are they? Are they good? And that's when you see that Aquaman's arm is missing and his butt
his arm
hand
is
is-
shredded.
is shredded.
By piranha.
Yeah,
it's just
there's,
bone.
There's like
Yeah.
pieces of bone, some
Yeah.
cloth, and then that's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
not
it.
like even like a hand bone. It's just like the top
No.
part of his
Unmistakably,
forearm.
there's
What-
no coming back from this.
No, what's interesting is
His hand is
that
gone.
like Aqualad's wound is like bleeding, but like Aquaman's arm
Yeah,
is like cauterized.
Yeah.
somehow.
They must
yeah.
have been heat piranhas.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Aquaman has better healing factor or whatever, so
I
it closes
guess.
off. The,
Well, and they mentioned that later on that like after Aquaman has a dream, because this is big in this issue, that
all
Aquaman
about
has
dreams.
several dreams. One of the dreams is it's him and Dolphin, and like she is just like, I'm gonna take care of you. It's totally cool, and like we're totally gonna bang. Like that's really
yes, literally
the
yes.
gist of it. Like
Yeah.
she kisses him, and she's like, "Don't worry, I'll take away your pain." And he's like, "Oh, do you promise?" And she's like, "Going down south." And then all of a sudden, she's just ripping into his chest.
Yep.
And she's just
No!
yeah, she's
What?
just like, "How you never had a woman steal your heart?" Ah! And she looks like a bloody like demoness kind of
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
Which is like, is that foreshadowing or is that just like he's messed up?
He's just messed up.
He's all messed up.
He's all messed up.
Because he's all messed up.
Dolphin's whole thing is she's quiet most of the time. Sometimes
Yeah.
she can't talk. I guess she can talk at times. In this, she can talk, but she chooses not to most of the time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So she's indicating she'd like to go out and explore, and like, Volka's like, oh,
And Volka's like, what do you do?
I don't speak dolphin. Volka's really thankful that she brought Aquaman there, and like he kisses her hand, and like she's like, I don't
What does that
understand.
mean?
Like,
What?
and he's like,
What are
we
you
know you
doing?
brought like Aquaman's more than just a man. He's a symbol, like to us. And you're like, oh, symbols. Oh, okay, right,
Oh,
yeah,
he-
yeah. That's what it was
did
called
he make
earlier.
himself more than just a man and become something else entirely?
Right.
He's a water man.
Right. And so then Dolphin checks in on Aqualad, who had a very serious gut wound, it looked like, but now he's just being bandaged up and
Yep.
by a hilarious doctor
Yeah.
when they're having a hilarious time. Because like there's some legitimately cool imagery in this book and some like cool things that happen to
Oh, yeah.
Aquaman in his dreams, and then there's this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I'm
that's
like-
horrible.
And like Aqualad like says like vaguely inappropriate things.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe the entire purpose of this scene is to set up sexual tension.
It's too,
We have
it-
established that maybe Aquaman and Dolphin are a thing, but what about Aqualad, who's
Yeah.
closer in age to her and would be a more appropriate
we
match?
don't know how old she is.
Well, she looks like it's more in his
She looks
age.
like she's about 20.
She's anywhere between 18 and 32 based on how people draw women in comics.
Yes.
True. In the real world, way closer to 18.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But like he says, he's like, "Oh, Dolphin, the girl of my wet dreams." I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my god, I
underwater,
forgot that.
not because
Yeah,
I
that-
ejaculate in my dreams.
Yeah.
exactly. So
Wow.
then Aquaman wakes up and Mera's there, and she's like, "Arthur, you're awake. Oh, thank God." And
Here's a reminder of her costume from the 90s where
Yes.
she had like a Dracula collar.
Yes, which is almost basically like her costume, and they just took the collar off.
Yeah, they went, okay, they trueized her costume.
Yeah, this is stupid.
She just ripped the collar off and now she looks cool.
Yep, and now it's fine.
Yep.
But she mentioned the fact that he's been in a coma for a month, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, we jumped ahead, okay.
All right, well, cool, why not?
Passage of time.
Yeah, and he asks about Garth and Artie,
Yes.
and she's like, yeah, no, they're great. And he's like, wow, I had some really crazy dreams. She's like, yeah, by the way, there's been some changes. And then, like, Black Manta comes out, and, like, she's just like, well, the kingdom needed a monarch, and you were down for the count, so, like, me and Black Manta are a thing now.
What?
Yeah. He's taking control of the kingdom. Aquaman, like, freaks out,
It's
and then
literally
Mera-
Aquaman's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And then, like, just to make sure, like, oh, are you not sure if this is a dream? Well, hang on, because then Mera gets in his face and like rips off her skin to reveal the skeleton beneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, she's like,
Yikes.
it's under the surface what counts. Rah! And then,
Get it?
like, Aquaman and Black Manta fight for a second, and I'm just like, no, the dream's over.
Yeah.
What are you
Once
gonna
she
do?
ripped her face off, you wake up.
No, this
No.
is like one of those flu dreams where it just keeps
You're
going.
not gonna stop. Hold on,
Like
because
you
then,
die, and then they have a funeral for you.
And you're like,
shouldn't the dream be over?
Shouldn't it be over? Am I really dead?
are we done? So why am I so aware?
Fucking
Ghost?
Oh God, go surreal. I've been totally wrong about everything.
Yeah.
And Aquaman sees Atlantis. It's in shambles
Yeah.
because Black Manta's a horrible leader.
Yep.
And then he looks up and he's just, like, he hears a voice off in the distance. It's like, they killed me.
This is freaking dolphin.
And my brother. It's the two. I guess it was the two dolphins who
two
wouldn't bring him to
dolphins.
Atlantis.
Yeah.
And they were harpooned by the harpoon. This harpoon's very important.
Yes.
Don't forget about this harpoon.
It's a symbol
Yeah, Black Manta basically harpooned the dolphins because, like, Aquaman wasn't there.
to protect them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one confused me. I'm like, does he have two dolphin friends
Yes.
who are like his buddies throughout all the comics or
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah.
It's like his dog,
Right.
but more
It's
helpful.
like his bat
But he can
hound,
talk
but
to
they're
them.
dolphins.
But he could talk to them, yeah.
Yeah.
If he could talk to his dog.
To some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's more like monkeys or
They talk in like
chimpanzees
broken
or-
English, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Amy from
gorillas.
Congo.
Yeah.
Yes. 'Cause
Yes.
these dolphins can form complex thoughts and they can infer sexuality between characters. So, like,
Black Manta basically tries to make him feel guilty
Mm-hmm.
about, like, you know, being in a coma and other various things that
Yeah.
are clearly weighing on Aquaman's mind.
Right.
And he's just like, I don't want you to feel guilty, and, like, I want you to die. I want you to feel pain. He
Right.
becomes a Bond villain for
Yes.
a family. And he harpoons his hand to, like, essentially like a big X,
Yeah, it's a
but
cross.
it's not. But it is.
it's a cross, but it can get past the sensors.
Well, no. Well, they're on X's.
Yeah, that's-
He's on like a big pole,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, yeah. No, that's...
So, and like Artie and Garth are both tethered to their. So first of all, Dream Mera, liar, other than creepy skeleton woman.
Yes.
And while he's having these dreams, a bunch of fish and like seahorses and like eels are coming into the room, and like it becomes the Little Mermaid for a second.
They sing about him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But hang on, I know this seems vaguely interesting, but let's put the brakes on and go find out what the hell are Aquaman
Yeah.
and Dolphin doing.
yeah,
banging
get
it
back
or
to
what?
that.
What are they doing?
What's her tour of Atlantis like?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
talking. Well, she's like talking to some random kid who's
Yeah.
just like, Aquaman saved me from being killed one time, and like what happened was we get a flashback to when Aquaman had short hair and 2 hands.
Yeah.
And like he's floating around the city with Volko, and basically these kids are playing with a sea urchin
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's fun.
Like
Because
a
they don't
ball,
have
but more
balls,
dangerous.
they have-
yeah.
no, no, do you just no? Like a rock is more like a ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he ends up bumping into Aquaman, who is the king of Atlantis, and they're like, "Oh, what's the penalty for that?" And Volko's like, "It's death." And like
Yeah,
basically
we're
they're
just like,
trying
what?
they're teaching him a hilarious lesson about being more aware of what's going on because the sea is dangerous and that kind of thing. And
Sure.
like Aquaman didn't let that happen and therefore he saved him.
And
And
like, no,
and-
Volgo, stay your hand.
And Dolphin's like, Volgo's a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Aquaman's like, no.
What?
What? Oh God, you're so hot.
Oh, that's clouding my judgment, but
I mean, yeah, he is. Yeah, whatever.
so
Yeah.
stupid. But
Whatever
you're
you
so
say.
hot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Take off your shirt. And he's just like, no, we want to teach him a lesson. Like he was never gonna kill him. It was just about like, you know,
Yeah, the kid's
a
as
joke.
stupid as you.
Yeah, what?
what? God, all right.
Jesus.
So then we go back to the thing we actually care about, which is Aquaman having a dream. This time he runs into his mother, and like he's naked.
Yes.
And like she's just like, oh, like everything that happened is like my fault in a way. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make you a baby. I'm gonna start over.
Yeah.
So she like regresses him to like a fetal sort of figure, a fetus almost.
Yeah.
If
This
you
seems
will.
very Freudian.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, especially with how hot and voluptuous his mother is and how little clothing she's wearing.
Yeah.
Which looks like a sea gypsy.
She does.
Yeah.
A hot sea gypsy.
Yes. And then she like goes to like kiss him, and then like she opens her mouth, and like just like every other version of his dream, everything seems totally cool until it's
Until it's
not.
not.
Except
What?
nothing was totally cool about this because you became like a fetus.
Well, no, like every.
Well, yeah, it was getting worse.
Every sexy lady in his life looks like they're going to kiss him,
Yep.
and then instead they murder him.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and then in the next dream, his teeth fall out, and then he's being chased.
So
every-
he finds a door, he opens it up, he's in one of his aqua classes.
And
Yeah,
he has
and
his
he-
aqua pants on.
Yeah.
Yep. He can't remember anything.
Yeah, he missed the whole
Yeah.
semester. It's the day of
Yep.
the final.
Yeah.
If you don't pass this, you fail college forever.
You fail
Ooh,
Atlantis.
Aqua college. Because I'm making fun of that because literally Aquaman has an aqua cave in this.
Literally
He
an
calls
aqua
it the
cave.
aqua
Yeah.
cave.
It's underwater. Of course, it's the aqua cave.
It's just an underwater cave.
It's a
yeah.
cave.
They're all aqua
It's a
caves.
cave. Yeah.
How do you tell them apart?
Because that one's mine.
There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So, his mother eats the fetus
of
like
Aquaman.
Aquaman, but it's not actually his mom.
Yeah.
It's
Like Uranus devouring his children.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
it's
I would not be surprised, actually, if David was using that imagery.
Nuliajuk, mother
Okay.
of the sea beasts,
Ah.
who eats him, and then Atlan shows up.
Yes,
and
the
it's-
savior of Atlantis.
Yeah, and it's just like, you can't have him. Just let him go. And like she does end up having to do that because like whatever.
Because he outranks her or whatever.
Yeah. No,
because Atlan is like what Aquaman's trying to aspire to be.
Well,
it's
and-
his belief system.
She also like, and this is where that whole like lore thing comes in because she's a demon of sorts. He uses her true name, and like the whole idea of using a demon's true name is that you
Right.
have like
Power
over it. And so
yes.
he uses her true name and forces her to regurgitate the adult Aquaman. But like Aquaman's like, screw you.
and because he was a
Atlan.
fetus and she regurgitates him as an adult, it's like he's being reborn.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly,
Very deep.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's underwater.
And
It's deep in
under-
2 ways.
Yeah.
At least 2.
Yeah, I don't know how many fathoms.
God knows how many fathoms.
So like the nurse like calls everybody in. They hilariously stumble into the Hobbit door, and like there's like all these fish. They're swimming around him like they would Ariel, and like they take him away
Yeah,
basically.
they create like a little vortex.
Da, 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 da. Oh, we don't own this.
No,
And they're like, what do we do? Well, we'll follow them.
Yeah, we can't possibly stop them.
No, they're just
they're
fish. Like what?
Like,
We don't
what?
have
You can
control
just
over them?
reach in there and pull them out. Like, you're way stronger than all those fish.
Exactly. So then Dolphin and Aqualad go to the Aqua Cave where like they see Aquaman like in the shadows, like crouched down. The Aqua Cave to me in this issue looks like it is a tiny cave with a singular chest, like
Yes.
a treasure chest.
right.
Yeah.
Like you would see at the bottom of an aquarium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blub. This is where I keep my bubbles.
Yeah. I guess the fish, like, they emerge into this cave and it's dry. They
Yeah.
come above the water. So I guess the fish, like,
Pushed
launched
him out.
Or
Yeah.
there's just a whole lot of dead fish on the ground.
They all blast out of there. They're like, I didn't know this was our ending point. So
But like Aquaman's like, I failed. I let my guard down. Like people got hurt because of that, and I'm not gonna let that happen again. I'm not gonna get hurt again, and nobody else is either. I've got something in mind. I've got a plan. These dreams, these symbols told me what to do. I am reborn by taking the harpoon from my dreams and shoving it into my arm stump, using
Yeah.
some bandages, and
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna keep it on like that.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, that's way better.
And he asks us, the reader, Is it too much? Do you think?
Is this too much?
What do you think?
But with that shit-eating grin, like, know it isn't.
You know I
Welcome
look,
to
you know I look
1995.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
This is just what we do now.
So this is the Zero issue is where Aquaman got his harpoon hand, not where he
Yes.
lost his arm, but where we deal with the aftermath.
Yep.
And also, Dolphin and Aqualad have a lot of sexual tension
Yeah.
that I didn't need.
No.
No, nobody needed that.
Of course, if you looked at the cover, it ruins the entire last page reveal. But
Yeah, like what? They're like, oh, you already
what's
heard from
coming.
your friend that he gets a harpoon hand.
No, I didn't. How
And
did he find out?
Was there a
Read Wizard
previous-
magazine.
Was there a previous issue where he got the harpoon hand,
No.
and this is like showing you how he gets the harpoon hand?
no.
Oh wow, crazy.
So this issue is worth $200 million because it's the first.
Hey, you know what's actually way more effective than a harpoon? A hand which can hold a harpoon or anything else.
Yeah.
Or-
This does not make you better.
No.
Or how about this? How about 2 harpoons?
Yeah.
Put them both in there, then it's like a fork.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
Later
Yeah.
on, of course, that harpoon hand, that straight up harpoon
Yes.
would be replaced by a more
Like a
utilitarian harpoon that fired and had
fires
rope
out.
attached to it.
Well, like more like a real harpoon, actually.
Yeah.
This is just like a knife.
That's just he has a sword.
There's
in
a sword
arm.
on his hand.
Then he would later on meet the Lady of the Lake, who would give him enchanted water, which would give him a water hand.
Yeah,
he's
which
just like-
actually is super useful.
It's
Yes.
like, remember before when I said I needed this to defend everybody? Look, let's just say I grew as a character, and it's not that I just like having a hand.
Yeah.
I want to clap.
And finally, we do Green Lantern number 0 from Ron Mars and Daryl Banks.
Nice.
This is kind of like the PS to Zero Hour. Ron Mars was put pretty much single-handedly in charge of the Green Lantern franchise after they decided that Hal Jordan was lame and useless. He did an entire back issues on the fall of Hal Jordan and the rise of Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, the only Green Lantern.
In the whole
universe. Hal Jordan, of course, destroyed the Green Lantern Corps. Those he didn't kill, he depowered. He took over the power battery. He became Parallax in Zero Hour. He tried to affect the timeline, thereby revealing hypertime in the DC universe. As Parallax, he wanted to reshape the DC universe so that bad things didn't happen to himself and people he cared about. That was his plan. It was nefarious and diabolical, and he was duly punished for it.
Yeah.
Green Arrow shot him in the chest with an arrow, and it's still
What?
there because, it's sad that Green Arrow did it. You know? So anyway,
Green
Kyle,
Arrow's like, this is all I got, man,
Yeah.
okay? I used my last boxing glove arrow, so you're getting the real one.
that's right.
Yep.
So anyway, the whole book is about passing the torch from Hal Jordan to Kyle Rayner for the 17th time.
I was gonna say, I don't understand.
They've
It's
done
acting like this is the first issue where Kyle Rayner, or the third issue.
Yeah.
And it's hasn't there been a whole series?
Yes.
His girlfriend's already dead.
Yeah.
Like,
But she died way too soon into the Kyle Rayner
Yes.
series. That said, Kyle and Hal have fought enough. And now they're going to fight again. So basically, Kyle and Hal fight the entire issue.
Yes.
Hal reveals his remorse for having killed people like Kilowog, and he feels really bad about it. The revelation that Hal Jordan was behind Zero Hour at all is an admission that Hal Jordan is not a diabolical supervillain.
Right.
That his method is, unorthodox and evil, but the reasons for it are altruistic.
Yeah.
And so.
I do love that, Kilowog's, he just, ends up falling into his skeleton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, during the fight, which involves, mech suits and all sorts of fun hard-like constructs, Kyle knocks Hal into the body of his failures, which is Kilowog's bones.
And Kilowog's like, no, he's not even having a good time as a skeleton.
Yeah.
Most
Like,
skeletons are always
oh.
having a great time.
Yeah,
no.
no. His skeleton's like, you killed me,
Hey, remember, I'm dead.
and I'll never be back, except I will immediately. So, Kyle basically...
This whole scene's very Hamlet.
no.
Yeah.
Hal Jordan literally picks up the skull of Kilowog and is like, alas, Kilowog, I knew you, Kyle Rayner. And so Kyle's like, dude, you seem pretty sad. And he's like, I am sad. And so he's
Thanks
like,
for noticing.
he's like, I'm pretty sad too. My girlfriend was shoved into a refrigerator, and it was going to become a literal visual image that would represent marginalization of female characters in comics henceforth. So I'm feeling pretty bad about things too. And so the two of them are like, boy, aren't we a pair? So then Kyle gives Hal his ring.
Yeah.
The reality is, Kyle's like, I suck. My girlfriend died like 4 issues into my reign as Green Lantern.
Well, he also sucks in terms of even showing us his like quickie, like what's going
Origin
on in his
story.
life. It's like I was in an alley and I got a ring, and then I used my powers to give my girlfriend flowers, and then I was surprised when this dude showed up.
Yeah, Mongol showed up. That was a big fight.
These are the things that you need to remember about me.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, wow, like now that I like mention it all, like I don't even deserve this ring.
Yes.
You should take
Ah.
it.
So he just gives,
it to
the
him.
villain of Zero Hour his ring.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, like you're sorry? Or
Yeah.
not even you're sorry, but like you
you
were
show
driven
remorse.
by like being sad?
Yeah.
Oh, here you go.
This book is just like, I need this to happen. And
Yeah.
so like
Yep.
Hal
Yes.
spends a few panels explaining some things, and then Kyle's just like, oh.
Oh.
It
well
takes
then-
like
Oh,
one
well, then
panel.
here you go.
Oh,
And you're-
never mind.
And I guess you're meant in the Zero issue to think that Hal Jordan's coming back. Because Hal
Oh, yeah.
takes the ring,
Oh, yeah.
becomes Green Lantern, and he's elated. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm back! And I now have the power to fix everything! And Kyle's like, oh, hey, real quick, can I see that ring again? And Hal's like, no!
He doesn't even send, like, if I were, like, Hal, I would be like, man, thanks. Like, I'm going to send you back now. And, like, I'm going to go and, like, be a hero.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Kyle's like, good for you. And then he drops Kyle off. He's like,
Yep.
Yeah,
nope,
no.
you can't even do that.
He can't even hold it together long enough to lie. And so Kyle throws Kilowog's skull at Hal to try and reinforce the symbolic message of his failure.
That's giving Kyle a lot of credit.
Kyle's an artist. He knows about visual cues and important symbols.
Yeah.
Hal renders it to dust and is like, nice try. You're a loser. You gave me your ring. He's like Dark Helmet. And so they fight, of course, on this like horrible husk of Oa.
Yeah.
Where, by the way, they were also by the mummified corpses of all of the Guardians as well.
Yeah, he falls into the museum tomb.
It's like if Batman's Batcave were more morose.
Yeah,
Because
like
it's
he
full
literally-
it's full of symbols and cool things and also bodies.
Yeah, like it was his parents' bodies were there.
Kyle desecrates one of these mausoleums and just pushes a body on top of Hal, pins him there, takes the ring, and he's like, there. Hal's like, haha, I siphoned power from it, so now both of us can be Green Lanterns and have an awesome Green Lantern fight.
Yep.
They do, then Hal makes a hard-like construct of Kyle's dead fridged girlfriend and is like, hey, when I fix the timeline and stuff, I'll bring your girlfriend back to life. And then she's like, yeah, you should totally do that. And Kyle's like, ah! Kyle's like, he doesn't even freak out. I would freak out.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle is like, that would be really nice, but it wouldn't be fair. So then he like,
No, he says, but not like
yeah,
this.
I want you back,
like
but not
this.
like this.
Not like
and he's
this.
like, so maybe what I need to do is like start fresh and like you're siphoning power from Oa itself. So then Kyle uses the power of his ring to drive into the core of Oa and then destroys Oa.
Yep.
Blows up the whole
The
planet.
whole planet.
So, in continuity, Kyle's ring has the power to destroy entire planets.
No, it has.
Don't forget that.
No, it supercharged the energy that was already in
yeah,
there.
it like overloaded.
He did. He overloaded the
He
planet.
ruined everything.
Oh, it was a ticking time bomb.
Yep.
And he said
blew it up.
Does
And
it-
so he blows up the planet. Hal like disappears for the next
Where does that
event,
energy go?
right? Like, does it go into Kyle? Does Hal siphon it off?
it goes every direction into space.
Yeah.
It's
By the
gone.
way, where does Hal?
By the inverse square law, it dissipates pretty quickly.
Okay.
So there you go. But then we see that Kyle is like emboldened in his quest to continue to be the replacement Green Lantern for Hal Jordan.
And now you can never have another Green Lantern ever because
There.
the power source is destroyed.
It's like every issue
Wait.
that Kyle is in is like another response to reader letters in the back where they're like,
Yeah, let's bring back Hal.
bring back Hal. He's like, no. It's like,
No.
I killed all the Guardians and I made Hal a bad guy. And they're like, no, but there's still Oa. He blew up Oa, okay?
But like he says things like that in his
Yeah.
thought bubbles.
Yeah, he keeps saying like, everybody better get used to the idea that I'm the only Green Lantern. So shut up, fanboys, and especially Jeff Johns. I see you there, and you're getting ready, but you're never gonna come here and replace me. Oh no, you did
Oh, yeah.
with Hal Jordan.
Yep.
By
It's
the way,
amazing.
the
They're
next-
just talking to the reader.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just saying like, shut up and stop complaining. The book is called Green Lantern. It stars Kyle Rayner from now on. So
Anyone
get
who's
used to it.
reading about my adventures better get used to it being me.
Yep. So actually, it might not be like kind of a sweet little like homage that Hal Jordan gets the ring, but more of a big rug pulling fu to the reader. Because if you end it with "You better get used to me being Green Lantern," but halfway through the book, Hal Jordan gets the ring and says, "I'm Green Lantern again," where they actually use the old typeface and put Green Lantern in his speech bubble, that is a Ron Mars get used to this.
Yeah.
Shut up. Like, you know that happened. By the way, the next story where you see Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner go to blows is in Green Lantern versus Silver Surfer, which would be the precursor to the DC versus Marvel crossover.
Oh.
It's not bad. It's better than this. It's also written by Ron Mars. So these were 3 of, I think, some of the biggest Zero issues of Zero Hour.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because one's Superman, one's
Did Batman
about
have one?
0 Hour.
Yeah, he did.
Well.
Well, that was
He
the
had
big
many.
two.
Detective, Batman,
Yeah. Of
Shadow,
course.
all of them.
Yeah.
So, which one's the good, which one's the bad, which one's the ugly? I think the good, just for me, so don't be swayed, is Aquaman.
Yeah.
Aquaman
Agreed.
is trying, it's intelligent, or at
Yeah.
least trying to be, and it actually accomplishes its metaphors and its images. You could talk about it for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And while I don't agree with the direction of Aquaman, it does definitively go in that direction, and because time's on our side, it sticks to its guns.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it is all in.
It's all in.
And it doesn't make it like a joke. It has a
Yeah.
fun little bit at the end. But
Yeah.
it's not like this is stupid, ha ha ha. No, it's like this is cool.
Yeah, and aren't you on board?
Don't and at that time, yes,
Everyone was.
Yeah. It's funny, as I was actually like, I was like, I'm gonna go with Aquaman, but then I was like, you know what? Green Lantern at least addresses what's going on right
Yes.
now, and this is doing that to some degree. But this is addressing what's going.
But this has nothing to do
on.
with the event,
No.
right?
No,
at all.
what I have an issue with here
In Green
is
Lantern.
just the necessity to have certain things happen, and we just write it to make it happen instead of it actually
Yes.
like earning it.
Yeah.
This one I have an issue with of like, I don't need the Dolphin Aqualad crap.
No,
Like,
but
No.
like it's too
Tear
heavy.
those pages out.
You know, the editor was like, "It's too friggin' heavy."
I know, but like,
It's too dark.
That's
Too
what I
heavy.
want.
I really do want that.
That's
and I mean, like, what's
next
funny is
level.
like,
They're not ready for that yet.
No,
No,
I
they
know.
aren't,
And like,
they
it's
aren't.
funny. It's like right now, I just started reading
The new Aquaman.
the new Aquaman because like Bogdanovic had like there was this image that was showing up like as a cover, and I was like, I have to check this out because it involves a giant shark mother thing, and I was like, that's really cool, and has a lot of like him doing memories and like going on these like sort of like vision-y quests, but they're things that actually happened to him, and it is a little darker at times, and I'm like, that's cool.
Yep.
You're almost doing
You're
it
getting there.
here.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
you
we
know,
can't. We gotta talk about wet dreams.
That's funny though. You know what? Like, I think that makes it something for everybody.
What?
No, I really do think it's like it's Peter David at his core, because it's like it's heavy shit, but it's also balancing it with like the playfulness.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
it's
call
still
it
a
humor.
goofy comic.
It's still.
But you don't need it to be
it's
that
still for children.
slapstick goofy. Like
No, I
her like meeting that kid.
Yes. Dumb.
What is the point of this?
Well, but you're also illustrating. It's Splash. She's a fish out of water. And
No,
she's-
she's literally in water and she's a fish person. That
Yeah, I
doesn't-
know, but like it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Anyway, Aquaman is awesome.
Yeah, Aquaman's
Yeah.
the good.
Yeah.
The bad is Green Lantern
Yes.
because like it's not stupid and trite. It's just also clearly like agenda driven. Like, and by the way, I don't mean political agenda. I mean like we need to get people on board with this Kyle Rayner thing.
It's so
Yeah.
transparent.
And it's so funny because like I don't even know if they're addressing criticism that even exists. It's like they're like it's like every day Ron Mars comes to the office like, oh my god, we have to reinforce this Green Lantern thing, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, what are you talking about? Everyone's on board. Everyone likes Kyle.
We've got to get everyone on board with Kyle. We've got to get Kyle Rayner
He
working.
needs to fight Hal Jordan again. Like, he literally fought him 3 more times
Yeah,
already.
he needs to defeat him more times because the memory of Hal has not died in comic readers. We have to destroy it.
Well, then
Yes.
what you definitely want to do is keep showing him. And
Yes.
Show him that
People.
yeah, that was not a good strategy.
No, but at least they do establish how irredeemable he is.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a shred of an opportunity to come